What's up, guys? Welcome to another day of the grind. It is 7 o'clock in the morning. About to hit chest and back. And take this pre-workout real quick, head into the garage, and hit chest and back. We are less than 4 weeks from Ironman Chattanooga. I have so many mixed emotions right now. It's sad, but we'll get into that today. We'll talk about the goals I have set for the race, what's coming up this weekend. There's a lot happening. But yeah, I'm going to take this pre-workout. I'll see you in the gym. Alright, so we're in the garage, about to hit chest and back. Now, chest and back is part of the new, today's workout. I'm on week 7 of the new lifting program, Lift More. And the shitty thing is, I was able to do the whole program up until about 3 or 4 weeks ago. That's when the leg workouts and the HIIT workouts started impacting my triathlon training. And we all know Ironman training is right now the #1 priority. So I haven't been able to even do the full workout program. I haven't been able to eat in a deficit because Ironman training takes precedence. So there will be a second round of this workout happening, probably starting the end of October. October 24th, I think I'm gonna do, because I'm gonna ease back into working out. That's about a month after Ironman Chattanooga. I'm gonna take most of the month of October off. October 24th, I've already had it mapped out. I'm gonna get back into strength training. I'm gonna start Lift 4 October 24th, do that for 8 weeks, and then we'll right back into Lift More for another 8 weeks. So 16 weeks of prep for the next race. Yes, there's one more race coming up this year, and that'll end my endurance season. Technically, this ends my endurance season, and then the next race is the start of the next endurance season. But I got to start training for that in like mid-November, so does it really end? But luckily, the next race we're doing is only a half marathon. So it's not super intensive. I'm not going to be missing family dinners for that. I can do all my running in the morning and my strength training later in the afternoon, or I can do, either or. It doesn't really matter. I'll be training through the winter again, so it'll be cold. And I'm actually pretty excited about it. Just because it'll be a break. I won't have to ride my bike. I won't have to go swimming. I won't even have to run super long. I can do 13 miles, not fairly easily, but I can do 13 miles steadily. So half marathon training is not going to be an issue because I won't have anything else other than strength training to focus on, which is good. But today, we're going to do a quick check of chest and back. Now, we're only going to do the HIIT, the lifting portion. We're not doing the HIIT. We're not doing the other parts of the workout. So it'll only be about 25 minutes of lifting, but it's still going to be 25 minutes of strength training. So I'm going to go, push myself, go as heavy as I can based on the volume that we're doing, and that's that. And then tonight, this afternoon, I have a 45-minute tempo run. I think it's a 45-minute tempo run. It's not a big workout. Yesterday I had a rest day. Today I have just a tempo run. Tomorrow I think I have a tempo bike, which doesn't even look too painful. And then Thursday I have a rest day. Now, why do I have this many rest days? Well, this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, my coaches are hosting a triathlon camp for their athletes doing 140.6 and 70.3 races coming up soon. Well, I'm running 140.6 at the end of the month, so it only made sense that I do the camp because the camp lines up almost perfectly with peak week. And holy shit, talk about a peak week. I'm gonna be brutal. When we did St. George, we didn't have one of these. We had a peak week, but it wasn't nearly like that. It wasn't like this at all. But we had a peak week for endurance, for distance, and we had a peak or time. We had a peak week for power. So this, I hope, is a similar setup where this is the peak week for time, and next week will be the peak week for power. Only because the power that we've been working on hasn't been what we did for St. George for a number of reasons. The main reasons is the focus is my run right now. So we've actually scaled everything, the biking and swimming back just to focus on the run. And B, I haven't needed the power because the climbing isn't as great as it was in St. George. So we haven't been focusing on the high power. Plus, there's a whole kicker power meter issue thing. We dropped my FTP from 285 to 260 because we weren't building the power. So hopefully that goes up next time we start training for an Ironman. But yeah, there's just been a lot of things that have played factors into what we're focusing on. And the race plan that when we get it, probably this weekend, we're gonna get it for Chattanooga, is going to reflect all that. So the race power on the bike is gonna be different. Race pace for the swim, which, let's be real, I don't know how to judge pace in the water, so I'm just gonna swim. And then the run pace is gonna be, the biggest factor. So I'll talk about my goals at the end of this workout, but I wanna get this chest and back workout in now so that I can get Gigi up and ready for school. Connie, I make her coffee in the morning just to be nice, and then we can move on with my day because I don't have a meeting till like 9, but Gigi got to get up at 8. So a lot of things happening, even outside of sports, outside of triathlon, outside of endurance, outside of training. There's just a lot going on locally, and we're not fully processed yet with what's going on. So some of it's early stages, some of it's almost here. So we'll see. There's just a lot happening right now. So try to stay focused on what I can with Chattanooga, and exhausting myself is probably going to be the best way to channel all that, because I have less than 4 weeks. So in less than 4 weeks we will be done with Ironman for 2022, and I'm not sad, but I'm not excited. And we already plan out. I already have season 3 planned out. Well, at least the race. But let me work out. We can talk about that later. So chest and back is done. At least the weight portion of it is done. Again, I'm not doing HIIT. I'm not even focusing on the core, just because I got other shit to do right now, and because I have a run later, I'm saving all my cardio for that. Okay, I don't want to exhaust my legs, pre-exhaust my legs now, let them get tight, and then have to go run a tempo run later. So I'm just gonna do that today. Like I said, I think it's about a 45-minute tempo run that we're gonna do a little bit later. Probably right after work, so about 4:30 or so. Get it done, and then I'm done for the day. So what am I gonna talk about today? Today, I did want to talk about my goals for Chattanooga. Okay, I have shifted my mentality on my goals. Initially, my goals were like way the hell up here, but now I've kind of brought them down to about here. Okay, I'm a little bit more realistic with my expectations for this race, only because of how much I've struggled training throughout the summer. Now, does that mean if I get to Chattanooga and the weather is phenomenal, it's still gonna be hard? No, maybe not. Right? Doesn't mean like last year at Tennessee when I ran the marathon, I trained in 89-degree weather all summer, and it's kicked my ass. We got to Nashville in October, first week of October, and it was in like low 70s. It was overcast, it was breezy, and it was perfect. Will I be so lucky this year? Probably not, because that's just the way my luck works. I can't have expectations on the things I can't control, and the weather is the only thing I really can't control. So we're just gonna hope for the best, expect the worst. We're gonna expect upper 90s, low to mid 90s, like it has been in the past. I want to say it was 2017 or 2018. It was like 97 degrees for a high, which is ridiculous because it's super humid there too at times. So because I can't predict it, I can't expect it. I'm just gonna roll with it. Luckily, I've been able to train out here in the heat, and when my nutrition is on point, all of my training seems to work out the way it's supposed to when I do things right. I'm a little hard-headed sometimes. Sometimes I'm stupid and I push the wrong power on the bike, which cooks my legs for the run. Sometimes I don't have the right hydration for the run, which cooks me for the run. So I'm working out all the bugs, I'm working out all the kinks. That's what training's for, and we're gonna go from there. So let me get dressed, let me start getting Gigi off to school. I am saturated in sweat. Like, yeah, there's a dry spot right there. So let me get dressed, let me get Gigi up, ready for school. When she's out of the house, I'll talk to you about my goals and all that good stuff. All right, I'll see you in a minute. We're eating breakfast, the standard breakfast. Nothing nutritionally has changed over the last, I don't know, however many months. I honestly can say that I have not tracked a calorie eaten in months. I don't know how much I'm eating, but I know I'm basically maintaining unless I go overboard, and then I'll gain a little bit, but then once a couple sweat sessions later, I drop it. So I know it's a lot of water weight. Like the other night we had a Chinese buffet for dinner. My wife didn't feel like cooking, so we went out to Chinese food. And you know, Chinese food buffets, man, you get the rice. I didn't have any rice. I had the lo mein noodles, so the noodles and all the chicken and broccoli, because I don't typically eat the beef at Chinese restaurants. I don't know. It's just weird to me. But the peanut chicken and the chicken and broccoli and the sesame chicken and the lo mein noodles, and I did have a plate full of salad or lettuce with toppings on it to kind of try to fill me up a little bit. Didn't have dessert that night either, so it was kind of okay. But I mean, I got home from the Chinese restaurant, I was like, I feel like I've just gained 7 pounds of fat. Like I felt huge. And the next day, of course, it was down. And ironically enough, yesterday was a rest day from any kind of triathlon stuff that would have given me a good sweat session. So we're working our way down to that. I think today I weighed in at like 222, but I'm still holding the water weight. So end of the day, I'll probably get down to, by tomorrow or the next day, I'll probably be down to like 217, 216 or so, where I've been kind of holding steady. And then going into this weekend, I will definitely come out of this weekend not at 215. What's going on this weekend? Well, coaches are holding a triathlon camp. And like I said before, this is for everybody doing a 140.6 or a 70.3 in the next couple months. We are just hosting a 3-day triathlon camp. And basically it's going to be a swim on Friday, which is, and I'm going to, the next episode, the next video will be all about the triathlon camp. It's going to be a Friday morning swim with a meeting later on that night, dinner, and so on. Saturday is the most hellacious day aside from race day. We're starting with a 100-mile bike, then we're going to a 2,500 yard recovery swim. And I say recovery lightly, followed by a couple hours later we're going to do a 13-mile run. Then Sunday we have a 2.4 mile swim followed by a 6-mile recovery run, and then meetings and dinners and lunches and stuff to end the weekend. So it's going to be a brutal weekend, one that I'm really not looking forward to because it's just a lot of volume. But at some point, like I'm more nervous because of how things have happened lately with nutrition and with my lack of ability to get to a certain point. Like I'm so nervous about this race that like I don't know if I'm feeling excited or nervous or freaked out or whatever. End of the day, I don't want another St. George. I don't want another failure. I don't want to have for me to set all these expectations and then not be able to deliver for myself, but for those watching. Because I know there are people watching that are like, man, I can't wait to see this dude's fail. This dude's not going to do it. There's no way. This guy sucked at St. George. There's no way he's going to do good in Chattanooga. He's hyping this up way too much. And look, I'll be honest, I was way less trained for Florida in 2019, and I finished that in 14:29. Right, 14 hours, 29 minutes. If I can't get Chattanooga, and I'm freaked out, I guess, because of the run, but if I can't get Chattanooga in under 14 hours, then I'm like, maybe it's not meant to be for me. Maybe Kona's not in the cards. Maybe not in the future. Maybe I'm not a good triathlete. So, I mean, all these things are going through my head, and I just have to let it play out in Chattanooga. So we're going to see. I have new established goals, and I'll talk to you about them a little bit later. I got some work I got to do first, but I did want to kind of just like lay the foundation for what's coming up over the next couple weeks, especially with this weekend being camp. So next week, you're going to see as much as I can show you. I mean, it's a lot of work. You're not going to see a ton of actual work. You're just going to hear a lot about it. I just, when I'm working out in the water, I kind of have a hard time recording in the water. Like, I know some people will actually, they'll get their GoPros and they'll one arm paddle. Like, I can't do that. Like, I legit can't do that shit in the water. So I might put the GoPro on like the head for a little bit, but end of the day, you're not going to get a lot of swim footage. I might get run footage and bike footage. Some footage on the beach, but who knows? But that's next week's episode, not this week's episode. So this week is about the goals. Let me finish eating, knock out some work here, and then I will come back and talk about goals probably after I run. So we'll run, then we'll talk about goals. All right? I'll see you in a bit. All right. It's much later in the day now. I think it's 5:14. I know it's 5:14 at night. Sun's getting ready to go down, no big deal. Either way, this is a short enough run where I don't have to worry about temperatures. But we're about to go for a 38-minute tempo run. Basically, today's run is 10-minute warm-up at zone 1, 18 minutes in zone 3, 10-minute cool down in zone 2. So that's today's run. I'm going to knock that out fairly quick. Zone 3 for 18 minutes is kind of almost a relaxed pace for me. I'm not at the point where my zones kind of speed up yet, but either way, even if I was, we're not adjusting the zones. We adjusted the bike power within the last couple weeks. That's been the only real change as far as workouts and speeds and stuff. Again, this weekend at camp, I will know more about the plan going into the race. If I had to guess, say my bike power is going to be somewhere around 180 to 205, somewhere in that range as far as, on the bike. And then my run pace, I already know that I'm doing a 4-minute run, 1-minute walk interval for the marathon. And I'm sure there's going to be spots where I walk a little extra or I run a little extra based on the terrain and the layout and the aid stations and so on, or how I'm feeling. But right now, that's what I know. That's what I'm doing. So most of my endurance runs now, if it's over 45 minutes, are 4 on, 1 off type intervals, but not for tempo runs. So only my zone 2 runs, which I guess is good because it's kind of training my body. Hey, get used to this. Now, if you look at the overall pacing, it doesn't really lose too much because when you run, you can. I don't really like going faster because I don't want to use too much energy on the run, especially early on in the race. But then when you walk, you kind of let your give your legs about a whole minute to recover before they start running again. So that's kind of the idea behind that. It's not a bad pace to have as long as you can continue running for your 4 minutes on. So I'm going to finish getting changed, ready to go. Really just got to change my shirt and I'll be ready. And then I'm going to grab the 360 camera because, again, I did not lose it. It fell out of my pocket in Orlando. And we're going to go on a quick 38-minute run with the 360 camera. I want to check it out. I haven't checked it out yet. I want to see what it does and, rotating around so you can see like the whole thing. And then when I get done with the run, I'm not going to talk on the run, but when I get done with the run, then we're going to talk about goals for Chattanooga, because there are goals that I've reevaluated and reset, and I know they're on the computer in the office, and I understand you guys are probably tired of seeing the office footage, probably tired of seeing me just sit and talk to the camera, but I don't have anybody to film me, so, but yeah, so that's where we're at now. I'm going to go run, I'll come back, I'll clean up. When I get done, we'll go over the run, and then we'll talk about goals for Chattanooga in less than 4 weeks away. It's the 30th. We've got 26 days until race day. Yeah, I'm not really sure how I feel about that. I haven't freaked out, and I'm good, but I'm not sure how I feel being 26 days out. All right, so this is the 360 card. And I know it gave me like 10 seconds before, and it said it's stopping because of low speed. So if I don't get much of this run, it's because I have low SD card speed, because I haven't actually purchased a high-speed SD card just yet. But Here we go. We're going to hit the start button on my run. We're done with that run. Just quick stats. I'll just go over it now while I'm here. 38 minutes. We covered 3.88 miles at an overall pace of 9 minutes 47 seconds per mile. Again, these were set intervals. They weren't like I was trying to go, break land speed records or anything. It was set zones per section or interval or whatever you want to call it. That weather did actually roll in. It's funny because I got right to the top there, right where I was getting out to the main road, and all of a sudden this insane wind just started pelting me with tree debris and stuff like that. But since it's calmed down, I thought it was going to last like the whole run. I thought heavy rain was going to follow. It didn't. It was just a really, really weird wind pattern. I don't think it's going to rain. But the run is over. I'm actually done with my workouts for the day. So I'm going to go shower, probably eat, depending on whatever, if it's ready. And if not, we will go over the goals for Chattanooga when I come back. I'll see you in a minute. Anyway, let's talk goals. So for St. George, my goals were pretty lofty. I wanted to do it under 12 hours, and I know that was one of those goals where it was like I probably shouldn't have shot that high. I probably wouldn't have finished it in 12 hours, and it is what it is. All right, I'm gonna put them up on the screen here so you guys can see what it is I'm looking at. But I went to this triathlon calculator online. I think it was called trycalculator.com or something like that. Either way, if you Google triathlon pace calculator, this should be the first thing that pops up. And you can plug in your times, your paces, and change your distances to whatever your race is, and it'll give you how fast you think you'll be able to do it. So based on that, here's what I'm looking at. I'm hoping, and these are my goals, okay? So it doesn't mean I'm going to hit them. It just means this is what I'm shooting for. Swim, I'm trying to do it like 105. It's a river swim with a decent river current, so it's downriver. 105 is a 142 per 100 pace. I'm swimming like mid to upper 140s per 100 now in the pool. So with the current, I could probably nail that for certain in open water. Maybe I'll go a little faster, but I'm shooting for a 105. That'd be pretty awesome. I think 105, just under 105, is PR for me. So if I get like 104 and change, then PR the swim. Hoping for a quick 5-minute transition. That's probably gonna be closer to 7, but for sake of numbers, we're gonna throw this at 5. For transition 1, then we're gonna get on a bike. Now, I've been doing all my runs based on power, so I don't really know what paces I've been riding. I can't really trust the kicker. If I go back to the century ride I did for St. George, I could see what I did average for there because I was still kicking it pretty good. But if I average 19 miles an hour, I can do the ride in 6:06. That would be like the ideal goal. Anything faster would be better, but I know my coaches don't want me to go too fast because that'll take away from the run. So we're going to shoot for 19 miles an hour. Hopefully that feels pretty comfortable. 19 miles an hour gives me a 6:06, 6:07-ish. So again, not too bad. I would not be mad at that. Remember, this one is the longest Ironman race they have, so it's not a 112-mile bike, it's a 116-mile bike. So this whole total race is like 144.6, not 140.6. Come off the bike, another quick transition, trying to go 5 minutes. I'll probably, again, go closer to 7, but I rounded down a little bit just for, I don't know, just because. 5 is easier to calculate. And then the run, this is where I'm the most nervous because I've been struggling more with the run over distance runs. Anything longer than like an hour and a half, I've been really struggling with, especially in the heat. So like the heat's going to play a factor. The bike nutrition is going to play a factor. Hydration is going to play a factor. So many things are going to be a factor outside of the fact that, outside of the ability to run. If I can keep it to a 12-minute mile overall, that puts me at a 5:14, which is my fastest marathon, let alone my fastest Ironman marathon. If I can do that, I'd be happy. I mean, obviously, I'm giving me, with the swim and bike time, I'm giving myself a lot of room to play with. Like, I think if I get off the bike and swim in those times you're looking at 110, 715, 720. So you're looking at 720 going onto the run. That would put me, I'd have a max of 9 hours and 10 minutes to do the run. Now I could walk a marathon in less than 9 hours and 10 minutes. So I'm not worried about not finishing at that point. But I want to finish better than I have. So my goal is 12 minutes per mile. If I can get under 12 minutes per mile, that would be fantastic. Like between 11 and 12 is ideal. And that overall, if I can hit those numbers, my overall time would be a 12:36, almost 12:37, and my PR is a 14:29. So if I hit those numbers, or even, you know, give myself a little bit of wiggle room with those numbers, I'm still going to hit a PR. Again, that's wishful thinking. A lot can happen in Ironman. It's up for grabs. You got to take what the day gives you. The heat might be unbearable. You know, the swim may not be as fast. It may be super windy, right? I mean, who knows what's going to happen? Mechanical issues, flats, injuries, right? Where you don't know what's going to happen. Like, there's so many things that could go wrong between now and now in Chattanooga that you can't really predict accurately where you want to fall. The only thing I can do is set a goal and say, this is what I'm shooting for. If I get it, great. If I do better than that, even better. If I don't, well, at least I was shooting for this particular goal, and we hope for there. Okay, so a 12:20 something is still a 2-hour personal best, and I would not be mad at that. There's not a person in the world that would be mad at that. But that would put me in a good position for next Ironman, for the next one. And I already know what I want the next one to be. The puppers, you going in? Hey. Hey, what you want? Thor, what you doing? All right, so that's that. So those are my goals for this race. If I don't hit this race, if I don't hit the goals this race, anything under 14 hours, I'm satisfied with. Like, I'm perfectly happy with, because like I said, it's been a long year of training. Under 14 hours is ideal. 12:30 or under is even better. What the you know, so that's that. So those are my goals for this race. Will I hit them? We'll find out. But all right, I'm gonna take this little, come here, buddy. Dude, all right, they're going crazy. I'm gonna let them inside. And I'm going to end this video here because I'm going to go eat. I'm going to spend some time on the couch with my wife. Probably play a little PlayStation when she goes to pick up Mackenzie. And that'll be that. So, thanks for watching. If you guys are following along, give me a like. Drop a comment below. Let me know what you think I'm going to hit. Let me know what you think my goals are, or what you think I should hit. Or let me know what you think I'm going to finish in. And then, you know, we have a couple weeks until the race, 26 days. It's going to go by quick. Then we'll narrow it down. I'm going to do a race week series. I do one video per day for the series. I got a collab coming that week with another YouTuber. But we're super close. Next video will be the triathlon camp from this weekend. And then it'll be taper and then race week. So like we're right there, guys. So if you've watched this long, by all means, thank you. Like, you have no idea. Thank you. But yeah, comment below what you think my times are going to be based on what you've seen this series. And let's see who's closest. I'll see you next episode, guys.